Thank you, Charlotte. And our team coverage continues with a story you'll only see on CBS Evening News tonight. Nikki Battiste, a CBS reporter, sat down with two men in Johnstown.
They say they were both molested by a local priest. Now, Nikki joins us live from the CBS Broadcast Center in New York City to discuss her story. Nikki, the story centers around two men named Sean and Brian. Now, they chose to confront their abuser face to face. As that confrontation on camera, and how can you describe it?
It is on camera. This all started with Sean, who we've spoken with a lot. Brian, he grew up with, two victims who came together again later in life and decided that they wanted to confront the priest they say sexually abused them as kids. They told us they really wanted this recorded. They wanted other victims out there to be able to see this conversation, to hear this conversation, and for any victims or survivors they say haven't had the courage yet to come forward, they hope seeing this tonight will help them. It's incredibly insightful. You're hearing from a priest, again, they say sexually abused them, talk about how this happened, possibly why it happened, and you really get inside of his mind. And I will say this, the conversation went on for 90 minutes.
Wow, and tell us a little bit about what they would hope this would do. For example, changing laws here in Pennsylvania. I would assume they're hoping, because in some of these cases they're outside the statute of limitations.
Yes, Sean and Brian fall outside the statute of limitations like so many of the victims in Pennsylvania. Sean is actually currently right now in Harrisburg fighting with other victims as the state Senate, as you know, is considering whether or not to open this 2-year retroactive window. And Sean has been incredibly outspoken. They hope seeing this, that the legislators might see this, would help give them an extra push to passing that window. But I think right now, from what I understand, there's a big fight going on in the Pennsylvania state legislature.
And quickly, why do you think the priest agreed to meet with them?
It's a good question. I think you'll get a sense when you see the piece tonight, but I think perhaps he wanted to speak. He also wanted to see maybe if they would forgive him, and it's interesting to see whether or not Sean and Brian do. Again, it was an incredibly emotional interview with some really unbelievable moments, and I think an interview that many people, a conversation I should say, that many people will be interested in hearing.
We'll certainly be watching. Thank you very much, Nikki, and you can find more stories and information at our website as well. Head over to wearecentralpa.com. Click on the News tab. You can search for the stories under the local news category.